I would request you all to please turn on your cameras so it's an interactive session. Hello, Nishanti.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
How are you?
Yeah, ma'am. Doing good. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, I'm good. We'll just wait for others to turn on their cameras and then we'll begin.
Sure, ma'am.
Vajiha, Jayashri, Divya, Riddhi, are you guys here?
Yep, I'm just switching on.
Okay, okay, great. Hi, Riddhi.
Hello.
Hi, Jayashri.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, I believe we'll just start with it now. If at any point you feel like there is something, some question that you need to ask or something like that, feel free to ask it. And okay, so good evening, everyone. First and foremost, congratulations to each one of you for making it here, and welcome to the National Legal Right Consortium. I am Mahika, and I am the social media manager that you guys will be reporting to, and I'll be your anchor for this orientation session as well. So, first of all, we are incredibly excited to have you guys on board as social media interns. This isn't just another internship. We are becoming a part of a movement, a legal literacy revolution where you'll use design, storytelling, and digital creativity to bridge the gap between the law and the people. And in today's session, I will walk you through who we are, what your role will be, what our expectations from you are, what are the brand and style guidelines for this internship, and what kind of content you will be creating, and what's the basic workflow, deadlines, and basically how we'll go about this internship. So, first of all, let's begin with who we are. The National Legal Right Consortium, NLRC, is a flagship legal advocacy vertical under WICCI, that is, the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Basically, our main vision is that we can build a society where rights, justice, and dignity is accessible to all the citizens, irrespective of social status, gender, or background. So basically, we are here to promote access to justice and legal awareness, to empower the citizens, especially the women, youth, and marginalized communities, to claim their rights, amplify voices that often go unheard, and support the law reforms, community outreach, and policy engagement. We also function through various state councils like Delhi Legal Right Consortium, Maharashtra Legal Right Consortium, Uttar Pradesh Legal Right Consortium, same for Rajasthan, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. So, as a digital intern, you'll also support the campaigns both at national and state levels. Moving on to what your role exactly here is. So basically, you have been selected for your creativity, curiosity, and clarity of voice. So your core responsibilities will include designing Instagram carousels, creating short reels and story-based videos, making event posters, drafting write-ups for LinkedIn, and producing YouTube shorts. So we work with one goal: to simplify law and make it human and take it to the people in the most regional, relatable, and inclusive ways possible. So that is the main goal we are going to keep in our minds while designing or making any content. So, when we talk about who your target audience is going to be, you will be making the law understandable for a student in Tamil Nadu, a domestic worker in Delhi, and a small vendor in Lucknow. That's the scale of your impact. So, make sure that every content you make is very humanly understandable in a very easily readable layman language. Now, moving on to the brand guidelines that you are required to follow. First of all, the logo rules. As you can see in this corner, this is our logo, which will be put in every content that is created for the social medias. So now, brand guidelines are very important because consistency builds trust. So everything you create has to follow the NLRC brand identity and style guide. We'll start with the logo rules. First of all, some don'ts that you have to keep in mind for sure. First one is never stretch, wrap, or crop the logo. So you guys will be given a PNG file where you guys will be putting it on the post. So you are requested to not stretch the logo in any way or crop the logo. So the PNG file that will be given to you should be used as it is, and it should be properly visible in every post you create. Secondly, never change the colors or add effects. So, suppose you are designing a post and you are going for a cutout doodle kind of aesthetic for that post. And when you're putting the logo, you decide to put a paper cutout effect on the logo as well. So, no, that is avoid that in all cases. The logo will stay as it is, and the colors of the logo should also remain same. They should not be changed at any cost. Third, never place on a busy backgrounds without padding. So suppose you're using a crushed paper background or maybe a background that has a lot of elements in it, and when you'll put the PNG file on it, the background might be a little too busy to appreciate the details of the logo. So as you can see here, this was a basic PNG file and a white background has been used for it. So imagine if this whole pink background was maybe a crushed paper background or a busy background. You can use soft backgrounds for the logo so that it is highlighted and it is properly visible. And fourth, never add drop shadows or distortions of any kind to the logo. So the PNG file that will be provided to you, use that at all places. Place the logo on usually the bottom right or the top left corner of the posts. For posters, you can center it at the top like that, or you can align it with the cool branded logos in the bottom right or maybe the upper left corner. And then for reels, you can use it as a watermark in the background, or you can always show the logo once in the start and then the reel can proceed, or in other cases, the reel can keep going and in the end, the logo can come with the conclusion. So, those are some ways to use the logo. So logo usage, as I've already explained how they are going to be placed, I'll just quickly go through them once again. For social media posts, you can use the bottom right or the top left corner at a consistent size. So if it's a carousel, we expect that like if you're maybe choosing the top left corner, then the logos in each slide are consistently sized. And then for even postures, center aligned or top left corner with co-branded logos. Now with co-branded logos, you have to keep one thing in mind. Suppose we are collaborating with a Delhi Legal Right Consortium. So they have their logo and NLRC have their logo. So make sure that when you're placing them, they both are equally sized in the equal proportion and their alignment is also equal. And then for reels and videos, you can add it in the intro, outro, or as a watermark. For PDFs or reports, you can always use them at the top center or bottom footer. So far, does anybody has any question?
No.
Okay. So once the logo, since the logo is clear, now I'll tell you about our color palette. These are the 15 specially selected and curated colors. So we always try to use bold pinks, deep reds, and warm neutrals because they stand for resilience, energy, and dignity. So we advise you to stick to these colors when you are creating any post. You have all the dark shades, the light shades, like a proper combo is there. So you have a lot of liberty to experiment among these colors. And it is suggested that you avoid neon colors, gradients, or unrelated shades in every post or content you create. Moving on to the typography. So for the typography, the fonts available for headings and titles, you can use Montserrat Bold or Playfair Display. For subheadings and mid-level emphasis, you can use Poppin Semi-Bold or Leto Bold. For body text, you can use Open Sans, Nunito, or Leto Regular. And for like legal citations or quotes where you want to emphasize a little, but you don't want them to be as bold as the headings or subheadings, you can use PT Serif or Roberto Mono. So all the color palettes and the typography, everything will be provided to you as well, so that you can keep a track of what you're using and how are you using it. Moving on to the tone of copywriting. So it is very essential to follow a few attributes whenever you are creating any content. First of all, the language has to be empowering. So you can use phrases like, you have a right to challenge this. You can do this. So when you say something like that, it's empowering. So the tone always has to be empowering. Then secondly, it has to be very clear and direct. So when you're advising, maybe in the end of the reel, you're giving somebody a solution for a problem. So you can use a clear and direct phrase like file a complaint using form X at your police station. So be clear and direct that this is what you can do. And then thirdly, fact-based statements with section numbers are essential. So suppose you are giving advice on a particular legislation. So rather than saying something vague like follow the compliances under the applicable regulation, it's very big and a normal human being might not understand that completely, like what compliances, what applicable regulations are they talking about. It's very confusing. So rather than that, be direct and be mention the specific section number, like under section 66C of the IT Act, something like that. So be concrete. and then like put follow the following compliances, and then list down the compliances that you're talking about. So it has to be a properly written fact-based statement with section numbers. And then lastly, your tone has to be inclusive and empathetic at all times, because you're speaking to all the genders, all the castes, and all the classes. Right. So, therefore, it is very essential that you're compassionate, that you're inclusive, and that you have empathy at all times. So, you're requested to avoid all sorts of legalese like ab initio or terms like that, or Latin phrases which might not be understandable by the general public. Vague phrases, as I've already mentioned, don't use them. Be straightforward and directly say what, how, when, where. Right, and you are also advised to avoid passive voices or any sensationalization or dramatizing the content. As I said, be inclusive and empathetic and sensitive towards everything. So, sensualizing something particular might harm somebody's emotions. So, we avoid that at all times. So, for the structure of your storytelling, be it a carousel, be it a reel, be it any video that you're making, we follow a particular pattern. So, first of all, there is a hook on the first slide of the carousel or first scene of the reel, that okay, this is what we're talking about. Maybe like, uh, did you know these maybe something related to motor vehicle act, that did you know police cannot cut your challan on these things. So like something like that a normal person would like to see. So first the hook comes, and then you give context. Maybe a short story that okay, a person was going and he was caught by police. He was driving, so this is what the police said. So you can give them context, or it can be related to what has been recently happening around the nation. So you can use that as the context as well. And then you jump to the law, like you explain what regulations are concerned with this particular context and hook that you've given previously, and what those specific sections or regulations say, what safeguards they provide, and what exactly do they criminalize. So this is what you explain during the law, and you also add precedents and recent judicial developments and interpretations that are happening around it. And then in the end, you can end it by telling them like a way forward or what they can do. So you can always give them solutions like, okay, so if this is being criminalized in a particular law, they are also safeguarding you with these sections where you can seek this, like list down the remedies that they can seek, this remedy you can seek. So this is the structure that we follow for all the content that we make. Any doubts so far, guys?
No, ma'am.
Okay, great. So now basically this will also be provided to you. So like for every carousel we make, or if every reel we make, there are particular size hierarchy and like slides, brand elements that we specifically use. So for carousels, the basic square, so sorry, yeah, for carousels basic square post will be used, and you are advised to make maximum like between 6 to 8 slides, so that everything is it's not too long, it's not too short. 6 to 8 slides, you can cover everything in this number. And then make sure that every slide has like maximum of 30 words, because if you make one slide too crowded, the reader might like get overwhelmed, or there will be less retention. So make sure that you are using the white spaces of design, and it's not too overfilled with information. And then, as I already told you, the hook and question comes, then legal information and solution and CTO. That's the format we'll follow for all the designs. Font pairings, you can use Montserrat with Open Sans or Lato. And even if you want to use Playfair and the other options that we have, you are free to do that. Then for Reels, again, the basic 1080 into 1920 pixels, the vertical, we use that size. make sure that you try to complete your video within 45 seconds because that's the ideal time. If the topic is a little too information heavy, then you can go till 60 seconds, but try to stick to 45-second limit because it's ideal. And then the same thing structure will be followed for it: the hook, then the scenario, law, and then CTA. And then caption, you can always write, you can take help of AI, and then you can always keep it in a structure like the first line again comes a hook and then a little description about it, and then a CTA that follow maybe an LRC for like more such legal information and stuff like that. So that can be done. Brandings and everything has I've already explained it. Moving on, for posters, Insta portrait size we usually use, and then the content order for posters usually remain as event title, the date and time, the speaker information, the topic the speaker will be speaking on, and the CTA or link, like you can put a QR, register now, put a CTA like that. So content order for posters will be this. And font usage for posters, it's advised that you only like keep two font styles maximum, like the combination of two font styles, and that will pretty much make it look good. And brand logo placements and color palette and avoiding overuse of gradient shadows, everything I've already mentioned. Then for stories we again use the 1080 into 1920 pixel vertical. For stories, maximum 20 words per frame are good because more than that, I think it would be too crowded and gives less retention. So maybe we can use stickers like maybe the poll that we have given, swipe up or DMs, like stuff like that we can use. And we mostly use stories for like quick engagement and facts and testing awareness of the people. So that's the most for stories. Right. And then LinkedIn art and write-ups that you will be writing. So usually the write-ups are very short, and even the carousels that you will be making, they are not limited to Instagram. They will also go on LinkedIn. So make sure that like a minimalism or a professionalism in your designs are maintained so that they can be used in both places. And write-ups, when you talk about write-ups, they have to be short and they have to again follow the same hook, and then you give the context of like whatever is happening right now, and then move on to the law, and then again what you can do, you can follow the same thing for the article. And that is pretty much it for this. Okay, so is everything clear for content format and layout rules for like all the social media platforms? Guys, is it clear?
Yep. Yeah. It is
Okay.
for now.
Great. Okay. So now, what makes NLRC content different? That isn't just design, it's the integrity. So there are some ethics and expectations we have from you. The code of conduct will also be shared with you for future reference. So first of all, accuracy first. So you fact check every law, provision, judgment that you're using in your content. And you are advised to use only trusted sources like India Code or SEC Online and other verified portals. Don't stick to random websites with random information. Then, secondly, respect is non negotiable, whether it's about labor, gender, or violence. Never sensationalize or mock anything or anyone. You are expected to show empathy at all times. And respect amongst teamwork is also important. So make sure that every communication is done in a professional manner. Then teamwork. Teamwork is very essential when you are working together in a environment like this. So it is essential that you credit your team members for all the work you have done collaboratively, and it is essential that you meet all the deadlines. So for deadlines, you will be shared like a proper content calendar with submission dates and explanation about what kind of content you have to create and how you have to create it. So make sure that you are planning everything well in advance and your submissions are made on time. And then apart from this, you will receive a form each month where you can suggest real story ideas and discussion themes and legal topics that you're passionate about. So we really, really encourage innovation. So don't wait for instructions and you are expected to pitch boldly. So these are the ethics and expectations we have from you that you'll follow. So, guys, this brings me to the end of the orientation. If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask. Yes, Riddhi, please.
Ma'am, I just have two doubts. So first one is, what kind of content you guys are expecting from us in Instagram Reels or Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts? Like, are we allowed to showcase ourselves also, like our face, or like we just have to make a video with a background sound? Like, I'm not getting that.
Okay, so this liberty, like creative liberty, is yours. If you are comfortable with showing yourself and if you think you can do a better job that way, you are completely allowed to do that. And if you think that you just want to work around a basic animation flow this time with background voiceover and a soothing music, then that is also fine.
All right, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other doubt, guys?
Ma'am, we'll be getting this PDF in a group, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will be given to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Anything else, guys? Okay, so for now, I'm assuming that you have an idea about how we are going to go about the whole internship. And if any doubt arises, even after the meeting or like when you're creating content over your whole internship period, then you are very well allowed to ask anything at any time. Even if you think it sounds silly, don't worry. You are like encouraged to come up and ask. With this, I think we'll come to an end of this orientation. Thank you so much for joining, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.